At the end of the day, what it really comes down to is that it's the frequency. When they try to do it in the off season, they can't match that for whatever reason, whether it's because they don't have that mental push.
I ate every 2 hours. I started at about 7 o'clock in the morning. Every 2 hours I ate.
I mean, there was constant fuel. That's consistent.
Breakfast of champions. 3 chicken breasts, plain, about a cup, maybe a little more than a cup of white rice with avocados. It's my first meal and I'm starving, so I'm gonna get to it.
You kind of just got to forget that's what you do. It's like normal things, like walking up the stairs, it's normality, isn't it? You don't think about walking up the stairs every time you do. If you did, you'd go mad. Same with dieting.
Because I was training so fast, but I break it down. That's really what I wanted to do. And then I go home, feed the muscle with nutrition, and then you get the rest, and that's when the muscle grows. The muscle doesn't grow good. That's the only way you break it down.
See fullness, we're still pushing, the carbs are going to keep pushing in.
All weight isn't good weight. So you can pick up a lot of weight on the scale, bodybuilding or you're trying to get in shape, when you actually start dieting, if that's not real muscle that you built based on your nutrition, then it's pretty much just going to fall off.
Now it's a party. Time to eat. That's when the growing takes place.
Sure that we perfect these areas that can be even better than they are.
You want to make sure that you have those building blocks that are going to help you with recovery.
Nowadays, you got to eat your ass off to be full. It's all about being full these days. If you any flat or anything like that, you're going to get smoked.
You know, why hasn't the scale changed? Well, because you're putting on muscle while you're losing body fat, so you're not going to see instant gratification. You're going to see it in 2, 4, 6 weeks from now, because you have to be disciplined. You got to be disciplined. So if you're disciplined out there, you're going to be disciplined in here. So if you're going to be disciplined in the gym, chances are you're going to be able to transfer that discipline to what's happening at work or in your business.
The thing it taught me was a self-discipline. You know, you have to have self-discipline. Just because you want to do something doesn't mean you need to do something. You know, and if you want to achieve something really great, then you're going to have a lot of sacrifices that you make to get there, and that means you got to have self-discipline. You know, when you're training for that show and you've been dieting for months, and you want to eat that piece of cake or ice cream or some trash that you don't need, you shouldn't eat. You don't pick it up, you don't put it in your mouth. It's self-discipline. Why would I do that? Because that's not going to help me, but it's going to help all my competitors, and it's going to hurt me.
It's always good to keep things very consistent.
Because it literally is total control of what you put into your body. And if you can control that, and you can control the mind, you're unstoppable.
100 grams of this. You've got to think, as I was saying, like, come so far and done things meticulously, you might as well just be focused and driven to the final hurdle. don't overly think about that. Just live your life in a way that you're living in order to progress in the way you wish to progress. And that is your balance.
The body's only going to perform as good as the food that you actually put in it.
My biggest failures in bodybuilding is when I've lost consistency. The only people that don't make improvements are the people that aren't consistent. And that's the truth.
It will have a different impact on stage, but I'm going back to the same old look, being big, hard, and for sure striated and also symmetrical. And I hope I will definitely make an impact this year's Olympic.
Speak about off-season, but off-season is still to train. If you don't train the muscle is shrinking, so you're forced to train all the time. Like to be world class, and to be world class you have to give something special, you have to do something extra.
Strength is relative. For me as a bodybuilder, it's more how I look overall, not how strong I am. For sure as a bodybuilder you have to be strong, but shape and appearance and symmetry and proportion is the most important thing.
just to learn to endure the pain. If you don't learn to endure the pain, you can't grow. I think finally today, at the day of the show, I could show and prove that the last year wasn't a waste of time. You have to decide how much you train. You have to decide how much pain you inflict on yourself. You have to decide how much you eat, how much you drink, and how far you like to go with your body, and how much you're willing to sacrifice.
Nasser El Sambate.
Somebody, second place, $45,000.
I think I look even bigger, I'm sharper, and I'm striking more than ever.
Nasser El Sambate.
Sport is almost kind of brutal because you have to be consequent, you have to have a lot of discipline, you have to be dedicated, and you have to work until the last minute, until you are already on stage.
Nasser El Sambate. Somebody.
I walked into Metroflex gym. I didn't know what to expect, man. I remember we pulled up in front of the parking lot. Good music company out in the parking lot. It was so loud. Brian is in there, Ronnie's in there. There was probably a dozen other bodybuilders in there that day the first time I pulled up. I was like, wow, this is a gem. Not like anything I'd ever seen before.
You know, really, this whole game, it's not rocket science. The biggest thing is you got to be intense. Whatever exercise you choose, of course, you're going to have things that you like better than others. But the most important thing in every workout, to me, is just intensity. I mean, you've got to go to failure. If you're just holding back, going through the motions, there's a lot of guys in the pro ranks that are there because they just have the best genetics. Once you get that upper level, man, if you want to win and be a champion, you've got to be able to suck it up and you've got to be able to go for it, The basic training of a champion hasn't changed since, Arnold's day. That's what made Ronnie so great for the 8 times he won the Olympia. He used to love just beating the crap out of all of us and laughing at us. It would just make all of us try harder. It made us all better.
And the amount of energy and atmosphere in there is like, it's unlike any gym in the world.
It's not just that too. I mean, the pace is incredible. I mean, it's not some scientific formula some guy comes up with that doesn't even work out. It's all about being intense, putting everything you got into it, and that's what makes you a real winner, what makes those workouts work.
This is how we train. We go balls to the wall all out every day, every time we go to the gym. That's how we do it, and I think with today's generation, I think people gotten a little softer, man. There's very few, I'm not gonna say nobody, there are still a few young guys out there that want to bust ass and go heavy and give 100% and try to do better than they did last time they were in the gym every single time. Those guys are few and far between.
Bodybuilding isn't for the faint of heart. It is for the wild people of the world.
Every crazy weight. That's why Ronnie's so damn big. These guys out here do not play around.
Guys on stage that I should never beat. I'm genetically, physically more gifted than I am. I'll beat them because I don't work them.
This weight right here, no matter what, it's going to always weigh 45 pounds. Whether it's shiny and brand new or covered in rust and blood, it's still 45 pounds.
You gotta have a certain attitude about working out when you work out veterans. I just feel like that. You gotta be hardcore.
The work ethic, just everything about him exemplifies, what I love. I mean, he's about the hardest working bodybuilder I've ever met. Early 80s when the big corporate gyms started coming around, they didn't really like us in there. They didn't really teach chalk. Took all the good bars out, replaced them with chrome bars, removed the squat racks, things like that. And there was the really hardcore gyms were few and far between. I started seeing there was a need for this, especially if I wanted to keep training hard and reach my goals as a competitor. I walked and I just start my own thing. Created that hardcore atmosphere, the family, of iron, of competitors, camaraderie among us all, people setting goals and reaching goals.
went next to Branch and Johnny the other day, and then Branch was rowing. We go all the way up to 300 on dumbbell, 250-pound dumbbell, and he's just one arm rowing, heaving that thing like a maniac.
Before every set, I gotta think and I gotta dig deep inside and know that if I don't grind this out, if I don't get one more rep, if I let the struggle beat me and I just let go and not fight through it, I know that guy next to me, he might have done that. So remember, when you want to give up, when you start getting in that struggle, when that weight starts caving down on you,
training articles basically talks about not lifting that hard, not that heavy, and doing very strict. For us here, that style never really worked. We always lifted very heavy, or as heavy as we could. Sometimes the internet police or foreign police, or whatever you want to call them, it's so ridiculous. Come up with some reason why he's doing it wrong. These guys can't do it. The style we use here is very explosive. Some people call it cheating. To me, cheating is relative. I'll take, for example, a guy I trained a few years back. He'd been trained by a very well-known guy over in Dallas. This kid probably had 14-inch arms. Trained this guy 4 years. First workout I did with me, he wanted to do arms. Well, I load up a 25-pound plate and started with the easy throw bar, which, I've got women that can do that. And he said, well, why so much weight? I go, nothing, dude. You can do more than that. And he started trying to do it super strict. Well, he couldn't do it. I said, man, that's freaking explode that shit, man. Put a little ass in it, man. Heave it. It's okay. And my trainer said, okay, how many times your trainer won? How many world champions did your trainer train? 0. How big are his arms? To me, cheating, there's a point where it goes too far, of course. The way you look at it is what kind of pump are you getting? What do you feel like? Are you able to make gains, go stronger, go more? It's just having that heart to never give up. It's almost like, you got to prove that you want it, man. The champion, and a lot of them didn't even make it through his first workout.
Failure was not an option. So I learned, because of my background in the gym, hard work is what everybody did, and I just tried to take it to the next level. And the reason I won is because I worked harder than they did. I know some of these guys trained in the gym, and I worked them in the gym, and I realized, man, these guys are actually probably more gifted than I am, but I beat them because I out-trained them. And if you give 100%, don't let nobody outwork you, eventually you'll win.
Weights is saying he's professional, he's going to go beyond anything he's ever done before.
won the Olympia. And then after the thing, and I said, well, Ronnie, just from my personal use as far as like what happened, how many times do you think you cheated on your day? And he looked at me like I was nuts. And he's like, it never even crossed my mind. And I knew at that point, like, it's like this guy is a different human being.
I was trying to distance myself from everybody else, so I kept getting bigger and bigger, so nobody would catch up with me.
Food is without a doubt number one. Being consistent, and that doesn't mean off-season or contest. That's across the board. If you are in the off-season and you're not consistent with food, if you're not continuously pushing food, stop food. Like I don't have to eat 6 meals a day. I don't have to quite get. If I don't feel like eating, I'll just skip a meal and I'll go grab some fast food and these things. It's probably the biggest downside. It's probably how I end up weaning out more athletes than not, because they'll be like, I can eat all day. I'll never have a problem. And 5 days later, like, there's no way I can eat all this food. It's just tough. Most people don't realize it. Eventually, you end up with a guy like Ronnie Coleman who is just a machine every single day.
I love what I do. So that's why I still come to work. I think it's one of the hardest jobs out there. Hardest sports out there. One of them. There's a bunch of them. It's hard. But the reason why I do all that, put my body through all that, because I love it. You got love for something, you know what they say? Ain't really too much of nothing you really wouldn't do. Good old extreme whey protein. Quick grits here. They basically all carb meal. This is my jump start meal of the day. 11 o'clock in the morning.
You see me big up there like that, but it took a long time for me to get there. That didn't happen overnight. I put on about between 5 and 10 pounds of muscle a year. And that came from all that, that heavy lifting, a lot of eating. I had about 6 meals a day. It's kind of hard to eat like that. So I would have to wake up in the middle of the night to eat and go back to sleep. After last year's Olympia, had my one cheat meal and pretty much jumped right back on the diet. And what I did was dieted for the whole year. Grits for breakfast, second meal chicken, third meal chicken, fourth meal steak, fifth meal turkey, and sixth meal was protein shake. I did that routine every day for about 15 years. I was doing that while I was winning Miss Olympia and all that kind of stuff.
Good old chicken.
I would take breaks and I would eat. Food would already be cooked. I would just warm it up and I would eat. I normally ate twice at work, because I just kept the food in my car. All work and dedication will pay off if you dedicate yourself to doing something.
Trying to stay clean. After 2005, eating cold car. Then you got Mr. Olympia. You learn how to survive. Do what you have to do. This is the number 3.
That now the muscle's gonna come. So I just let my training build my muscle and let my food pretty much all season, instead of eating all this junk and stuff, eat like I'm getting ready for a contest. Because I'm still trying to build muscle in all season. Of course it's harder, but I want to be better.
Do it.
as Mr. Olympia, I got to do what it takes to get better. That was my motivation right there. No room for weakness.
When I'm in the off season, what I try to do is put on as much weight as possible and try to come down from that. But I don't want to put on a lot of bad weight. I'm trying to put on as much good weight as possible. Keep my protein real high. Try to get about 600 grams from me. I still go with the same formula. For every pound of body weight, I just do 2 grams of protein. Plain and simple. So here's the kicker for I do in order to gain weight. Instead of me taking in like 250 grams of carbs a day, I can now go up to about 600, all the way up to about 1,000 grams a day. I still eat every 3 to 4 hours, and I still try to eat 6 times a day.
I don't consider myself no different from anybody else in this world. I'm just a little bit bigger.
You've gone from 225 up to nearly 300 pound on stage. Bodybuilders over the last few years have got bigger and bigger and bigger.
You won't get another.
How do they go about getting big? Well, you gotta eat big to get big. The most important thing about nutrition is protein. Simply because protein is what builds muscle. Point simple.
What I call my low carb week. I probably have like 6 days where I'm low carb, and I have 1 day where I carb up real high. And I'll do that all the way up to the Olympics. Basically just monitor it, go by how I look. Right now I'm about 285 pounds.
On the label it says take 3. 3 is not enough for a big guy like me. Okay, now we can ready to go to the gym. Lift some weight.
Thank y'all for coming out. Please come next year, make this thing even bigger. I love y'all. Let's go eat.
I had that gym, and that gym taught me a discipline. It taught me sacrifice, and it just taught me how to trust my decisions, And when I started trusting my decisions, I started seeing changes that I was in control of, not anyone else.
This sport is definitely challenging, and I've learned a lot. So have all these guys about yourself and what you're faced with in adversity and overcoming. I just didn't give up, and I continue to train. I dedicate my career and my places and everything to put everything I have on the line to make a change, whoever's coming up behind me, to make a difference, for a fair chance and an opportunity to win something that he trained and died so hard for.
The things that I've done through my training has been unbelievable.
There's no secret. There's no secret. There's no secret. The secret lies within you. So I can tell people how I train. I can tell them what I eat and all these things. That's the boring part, Anybody can train and eat, but what's driving you to do what you do in life? This is the most important thing.
Editor number 6, Kevin LeBron.
Each year you set a goal, you set a limitation, and you try to reach it, but this time I try to go beyond that.
I saw him backstage pumping up. He looks unbelievable. He looks huge and very, very defined.
If we went in the gym, we trained hard. We were in the floor every single day. I'm willing to endure the pain for the results. understand what it is that I need to do today to have a better tomorrow. And that's how I've always moved forward and been able to make decisions to get to where I'm at today. Whatever the world throws at me, I'm willing to take on the challenge. If it brings me down, if it builds me up, I'm still going to stand my ground. And when you express that and people feel that and they see it around you, then people grow from it.
Everything's it's mental, you know, more than physical. And if you're out of the game mentally, then you're out of it physically. So I just try to stay mentally up.
You see what he's made out of. You see it's not what you saw on the outside that makes Ronnie Coleman. It's something inside his spirit that you cannot get out of the bottle that makes this man unbelievable and sets him in a class by himself. It's that sheer willpower to continue to keep going and never stop and never quit no matter what.
I just happen to be genetic gift for strength and bodybuilding, different beast. That's how I felt. I felt like I was Superman. Nothing I couldn't do.
1992, I didn't place at all in the Olympia. Didn't get a dime, didn't get a dollar. I didn't complain. 1994, I didn't complain when I got 15th. 1995, I didn't complain when I got 11th. 1996, I didn't complain when I got 6th. 1997, I didn't complain when I got 9th. The moral to the story is, why complain?
All these guys sitting around here talking about what they're gonna do. Hey, this is a show. Talk is cheap. You wanna do something? Hey, we can do something right now. No, it's about him being 300 pounds. Hell, I'm 300 pounds too. What you wanna do? We can go for it right now, baby.
Hold on a second. If you're gonna do this, you might as well do it up there.
Where I am. I mean, just what giving it I work my butt off to get where I am. I work extremely hard each and every single day. Just because I'm Mr. Olympian, I've won 3 times in a row, there's something wrong with the judges. You're taking it personal. There can't be something wrong with y'all's body. You're taking it personal.
Jay Cutler said you were 100% beatable. What do you say about that?
I say Jay Cutler's smoking crack. He ain't in his right mind.
Oh. But tonight there's a chance that you could fall.
Oh, we still bodybuilding though. If we still bodybuilding, new round or what, it don't make no difference to me. Bring it on. Let's do it.
I didn't complain. I didn't cry. I didn't get mad. I just kept doing what I kept doing, and I got better at what I kept doing, and I beat y'all. That's why I beat y'all. Just keep on complaining. Maybe you'll find out complaining ain't gonna really get you nowhere, or where you are now. In second place.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for. There is one man in this building, one man in the world who can make Mr. Olympia history happen in this arena, on this stage tonight. A man who holds the professional record of 8 consecutive Mr. Olympia World Title knockouts. He is bigger and more ripped than you've ever seen him before. Shredded 300 pounds. Undefeated Ronnie Coleman.
The big, nasty, nothing but a peanut, Ronnie the King Coleman!
And hey, I got mad love for every single fan out there. And I don't care if you don't like it. Just keep showing up. Keep showing up. Keep making this sport one of the best sports in the world. And we're going to take this thing to another level, y'all. Hey, next year, make this thing even bigger. Let's go eat.
nobody gonna give you nothing.
What he brought to the table was his different type of genetics allowed him to be a freak of another nature and to get to a level of bringing hard, dense muscle that we just couldn't put on our bodies.
Things he do, videos with that amount of weight, it's not normal strength.
The thing that separated him was just his work ethic from the very start has been supreme.
Because I was always like, man, if I can get myself in this kind of shape, nobody can touch me. I'm not really worried about what they're doing because I know they can't outwork me.
The seventh day, God didn't rest. On the seventh day, God created Ronnie Coleman.
I believe he got as high as World Championship, maybe even competing in Mr. Olympia by being a natural. I believe so. If you look at his physique when he's in the Mr. Olympia in 1992 compared to when he was winning, it's huge.
Started bodybuilding in 1990, and I just steadily progressed since then.
I would say, why do you keep doing this, man? And this is when he had first started. He was getting dead last on all the shows and European tours. Dead last. For 4 years straight. Not placing, not winning no money, nothing.
And I'm like, dude, why do you keep doing this? And Ronnie looked at me and he says, because I love doing it. Man, I love bodybuilding. He said, man, I love bodybuilding. You know, when he said it like that, I was like, wow.
The new Mr. Olympia, Ronnie Coleman.
It was the beginning of the end for me and every other bodybuilder.
This is where you do all your work. This is where you put all your work in.
And when Ronnie hit that stage, man, it was all over. It was like, where this dude come from?
Second time pretty much sealed. The first one was not a joke. The first one was not a given. This showed that I am the best in the world 2 times in a row. I didn't complain when I got 9th. Moral of the story is, why complain? I just kept doing what I kept doing, and I got better at what I kept doing, and I beat y'all. That's why I beat y'all.
To the 3-time Olympia champion, Ronnie Coleman.
What are you gonna do? You know, what are you gonna do? You cannot work the guy because he's just a mule. He's just gonna work.
Ronnie Coleman had reached a point where he didn't look human backstage.
In my opinion, he's the greatest Mr. Olympia of all time. I don't think anybody ever break that record. And when I say record, I don't mean a number. Somebody probably get 8 or 9. They'll never beat him. You know, they'll never beat his all-time best. Look, not gonna happen.
To the 4-time Olympia winner, Ron Coleman.
just wasn't human to just perceive what he looked like at his peak.
He was the strongest Mr. Olympia of all time.
But when you talk about a Mr. Olympia, you're talking about the true lion, the man's man. You're talking about the epitome of bodybuilding. You're talking about the most powerful, the most masculine, the most biggest, muscular guy in the whole universe.
You close to Ronnie Coleman? Look, nobody's close to Ronnie Coleman at 100%. Nobody. I don't care what anybody says. They can idolize whoever they want. Ronnie, if you look at Ronnie in 2003, we may never see that again. Ever. He was that far ahead of everybody.
But of course, I am blessed. I have great genetics. I did work hard. I did sweat a lot. Bled a lot too, doing them squats.
Oh, this is 800 pounds. 800 solid ass pounds.
This is one of the greatest rewards that I'll ever receive. And y'all, here I am, getting the greatest reward of my life. And I just want to say it like this.
This is where I got my genetics from, right here, right here. This is why I'm the winner.
Mama, we got us a lifetime achievement award. Thank you.
One more time for the 8-time Mr. Olympia, the man, Ronnie Coleman.
When I look around, I always learn something, and that is to be always yourself and to express yourself, to have faith in yourself. Do not go out and look for a successful personality and duplicate him.
If you do not have style, if you just say, well, here I am, as a human being, how can I express myself? So styles tends to not only separate man.
Like they always copy mannerism, but they never start from the very root of his being, and that is, how can I be me.
We're not your normal people. We don't do normal things. We were just made that way.
To do it and get up there and just rock.
Wanted to just prove everybody wrong, you know what I mean? I wanted to make it, and I was gonna make it regardless of what anybody said.
How much do you weigh now? About 3 kilos.
get a lot of attention because of my size.
Feel the best right here, this area, okay? Don't freak out when you see these biceps, okay?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I always knew that I was cut out to do something different.